here is the front view of our reception desk. And if you remember, let me go back to the AutoCAD drawing here. This is the reception desk here. It's sort of, on this angle, and behind it is this closet over here. So what we're doing is we're going to add millwork panels around 3 sides or maybe 4 sides of this this closet here to sort of act as a nice refined backdrop to our reception desk, which is over here. So let me go back to the handout. So this is kind of, well, not kind of, this is it. This is kind of what we're going to try to duplicate here. So this is the closet, and on the back side of this closet are the doors, where you hang your stuff up. And then on these sides here, we just have some millwork panels, and there's some reglets over here, or reveals. So they're often called reglets, and they are running like around the side and down here, and then the reglet pops open and gets wider up here, and there'd be some accent material, maybe it's reflective or metallic, and then the company's logo I theoretically would go in this in this slot here. And then the reception desk is here. There is a tall piece here, and this is a transaction top. Transaction top is normally 12 inches deep, so that's running around here. And then lower down here is actually the work surface of the reception desk. So whoever the receptionist is, or whoever's working here, he would be sitting back here, or if there's 2 of them, there's enough width for 2 people to be sitting back here. And then what we're doing is we're extending it out, or actually what we're doing is we're cutting back the length of the transaction top so that we have an accessible area here for ADA. And nowadays, if you are designing a reception desk, this is a requirement. You just have to have some access for a person in a wheelchair to be able to, come up to the reception desk and interact with the receptionist back here. So this one has knee space here. It's open underneath so that the person in a wheelchair can roll up right to it and then, sign papers or sign in or interact in whatever way that they need to. But it's also legal or allowable to have a side access to the reception desk. In other words, like this front, whatever the surface is, if it's wood or stone or whatever, that could continue on front of this, the lower part of this reception desk work surface here. And the person in a wheelchair could wheel up sideways to this area, this lower area, and then sign in. They would just reach over the arm of the wheelchair and be able to interact with the receptionist here. So that's kind of what we're drawing from the front view. And then from the back view, this is all seating area. This is open legroom here, and this is this is a place for the receptionist to sit when they are interacting with the person in a wheelchair. This is the back side of the transaction top, and it is extending a foot above the 30-inch high work surface that is this area here. And then down here are 2 file cabinets. These are called PEDs or pedestals in the commercial furniture industry. Every manufacturer, Knoll, Steelcase, Hayworth, all of them, they all make these things, and there's usually 2 or 3 different kinds. This is a box file. I'll talk about it when we're drawing it a little bit more, but they are not almost always 1'3" wide throughout the industry. And often, let me just zoom in a little bit here. Often, if you're going to have two of them, they would just butt up right next to each other and they would screw together, or it's called ganging them together. And you'd have two of these PEDs right next to each other. But for whatever reason, the designer put a panel, a millwork panel here. So that's fine, and that's the way we'll draw it. So so there'll be, you know, a slot for this one and a slot for this one. Okay, so that is our goal. Here it is in plan. It's 3.6 by 11.6 and blah, 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 blah. And I just added some dimensions here just by hand, just to make it maybe a little bit easier as you're drawing it. And it's certainly going to be easier for me to follow along and do this with these extra dimensions here too. All right, so I'm going to put this on my back or my second screen, and we can start in. So this is our plan, and I'm just going to use the same plan. And actually, what I'll do is I'm just going to do a save as here, and I'm going to call this Project 10 Isometrics, just so I have a clean copy of it, and I'm not, in case something happens, I still have all the rest of my stuff here. All right, I drew this little cube here, and this is just to get some terminology here. We're seeing three faces here on this cube, and this would be the left face, and this would be the right face, and this is the top face. And when we're dealing with isometrics in AutoCAD, AutoCAD calls these faces planes, P-L-A-N-E-S, and this would be isoplane left, and this would, or the left isoplane, this would be the right isoplane, and this would be the top isoplane. So before we can do anything, though, what I need to do, there is a button here. There's an isometric drafting button, and you probably do not have this on your on this little toolbar down here. But if you go down to these three little horizontal lines all the way in the corner, and when you hover over it, it says customization, and this flyout comes up, and there is we're just about a quarter of the way down, isometric drawing. And if you click on that so that it's checked, that little icon will appear, and it looks like a little red and green X. So that allows us to get into isometric drafting mode. Now there's a little arrow to the right of it, and when I click on it, there are three different options here. There's isoplane left, isoplane top, and isoplane right. And depending on which one I choose, your icon will change down here. But I'm going to start with isoplane top. And as soon as I click either on that or just the button here, this button just toggles isometric on and off, my cursor will change. And right now, my cursor is kind of imitating or mimicking this little cross that I drew on this top, so that this is what my cursor looks like when I am drawing an isoplane top. So whenever I'm drawing the top of a surface, I am drawing an isoplane top. Now, if I go to isoplane right, now my cursor has changed like this, and this is the isoplane left, sorry. I clicked isoplane left. So I'm on the left plane here, and now my cursor looks like this. So I know that when my cursor looks like this, I'm drawing an isoplane left. And then lastly, when I click on isoplane right, my cursor looks like this, and now I'm drawing on this plane right here. So this is the way that you switch from isoplane top or left or right. there is another way, though, that you can toggle through them actually quite quickly, and that's with your F5 key. So if on your keyboard you have an F keys, if you just tap F5, every time you tap it, it changes from isoplane right, isoplane left, isoplane top. And you'll notice that every time I change my isoplane, AutoCAD sort of tells me what the latest isoplane is. So there, now I'm in isoplane right. And if I just wait for those to fade away and I type again, now I'm in isoplane left, and it's telling me right there. And if I tap again, I'm in isoplane top. Okay, so now let me just go back to my handout here. So if I am drawing at the top of my isometric here, if I'm drawing these lines, I am probably going to draw isoplane top. And if I'm drawing on this face, I'm drawing isoplane left. And if I'm drawing on this face, I'm drawing isoplane top, right. So similarly with the reception desk, if I'm drawing the top of the transaction top or the top of the work surface, I'm using isoplane top. If I'm drawing on the right side of this, I'm drawing in isoplane right, and on the left side, I'm drawing isoplane left. Okay, so let me put this back on my other screen. Let me move out of the way. I'm just going to go to some clean space here. And I'm in isoplane top. And if I am, I want to have isoplane top on, and I want my ortho mode. I want to be in ortho mode. And by the way, while I'm drawing here, I am in the world coordinate system. So don't be confused. You know, like last week we had this switched on an angle, and now and the cursor was on an angle, and now my cursor's on an angle again, but this is an isometric view. So so just don't be confused about the world coordinate system. So if I go to the line tool and I start drawing, and my ortho is on here, it is following those, you know, it is drawing only in these directions. And if I switch my isoplane, I'm just going to tap F5 to go. I'm going into isoplane right now. And I am drawing. I am now drawing on the right side. Oop, that's because I had snap on that did that. So my lines, when ortho is on, are going at this, you know, 30-60 degree angle. And if I change my isoplane again, I'm just going to tap my F5 and draw lines. I am now drawing in isoplane left here, and it is following 30-60 angles, but it's going on, you know, for the left side. So I'm gonna just erase all of those. I just wanted to show you how it's drawing. If I have ortho off and I'm drawing, and I'm in isoplane left right now, it'll draw at any angles, just like it would, you know, normally when we're just drawing regularly. So so the key when we're drawing in an isometric or using these isoplanes is to have ortho turned on. All right, so I'm going to draw in earnest now, and I'm going to change. I'm going to go to like the line weight medium here. I'm going to draw on line weight medium, and I'm going to start with the top of our closet, or that big rectangle. So if I'm drawing the top, I'm going to be in isoplane top. So I'll just switch to isoplane top, and I just did that with my F key, F5. And now I'm just going to start drawing just like we normally would. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm just looking at the handout. And I'm going to come down 3'6". And then I'm going to go over 11 feet 6 inches. And then back 3'6". And then back to my start point. Oh, let me put my my O snaps. Oh, I do have my O snaps on. There it is. So there is there is the top of my closet, I guess, for lack of a better word. And now let's draw the left side over on this side. So I want to switch to isoplane left. So that's isoplane right. There's isoplane left. And I'll just go with my line tool, and I'm going to go straight down 14 feet. And then I'm going to come back over this way 3.5 feet. And I come back up. So there I have the left side drawn. And now I want to draw the right side. So let me switch my isoplane again to I'm at isoplane right. And I'm going to use, well, no, I guess I won't. I'll go over 11'6", and then I'll come up. And there I have sort of the cube or the box of the back of my reception desk. Okay, that looks good. So now let's talk about these little reglets or reveals. And I'm sure you've seen them. There's a picture of them on Blackboard, but I think here it is. So this obviously is something different, but these are the reveals over here, and ours are going to be 1 inch high by one. Let me zoom in a little bit. So they're going to be 1 inch high, and they're going to be 1 inch deep here. And a lot of times you can have a metallic back on them. That's usually what I do when I'm drawing these reveals, but or sometimes a black back on them. But that in essence is what we're going to be what these reveals are that we're going to be drawing. So I think I will start with the one over here on the left. So it starts 3.5 feet. So all right, so I'm going to be drawing this one here. So I want to be in isoplane left, right? Because I'm drawing the left plane of my box here. So I'm switching to isoplane left. I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm going to go up 3'6". There it is. And then I'll just come back down here, and I can't really snap or go, straight to that. So what I need to do is I need to put in a dimension. So I'll put in 3'6" to go right to it. And then I need to do another one, and that the reveal or the reglet is 1 inch high. So I can again use O tracking, go up 1 inch, and then draw 3'6". But when I'm drawing isometrics, very often instead of doing that, I use copy. I use copy an awful lot when I'm drawing isometrics. So I'm gonna copy this line. And I'll just start here, and I'm just going to go up, straight up 1 inch. So there I have that reveal, and we'll deal with this with this corner in a minute. And while I'm at it, I have that reveal turns the corner and comes along here. So I can switch to my isoplane right, and then I can just draw a line straight across for the reveal going across here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use copy again, and I'm just going to copy this line, and I'm just going to copy it straight up to here and to there. So now I have that reglet or that reveal going straight across my the front of my closet here, or the back of my closet. All right, and then I have a vertical one, and it is 3 feet off of this side, this corner here. It comes down straight down 3 feet. So I'm going to use the copy trick again, and I will select it, and then I'm going to copy over 3 feet or 36 inches. And then to draw, the reglet is 1 inch wide. So again, I will, oh, and by the way, I can't offset when I am, let me just erase this. To say, well, why not just offset this 3 feet? Well, so if I offset 3 feet, watch, it's offsetting, like it's following the UCS. It's not following isometrics here. So offsetting generally, which I use an awful lot when I'm drawing, but when I'm drawing an isometric, it's kind of a no-no. Yeah, it just won't give you the results that you want. So I'm going to copy this did I say 3 feet? 3 feet or 36 inches. And then I'll just copy this one 1 inch. Okay, nice. So let's clean this up a little bit. So on my reglet, let me go back to that picture. So on these reglets, and the way this is drawn here, it's not very, let me see if I can zoom in here. All right, you can't see this really well, but you can see in this reveal, right? So this is the left side of the wall, and then this little surface here is sort of the top of the, or the bottom of those reglets. So so to get this area here, I want to use isoplane top. So let me switch to isoplane top. There I am. And that reglet was 1 inch deep. So I'm going to go over 1 inch. And it just happens to hit that right there. And then I'm just going to do a little trimming here. So there, that looks that makes that reveal look three-dimensional. Let's just do the same thing over here and just draw that edge 1 inch over. And then I'll just trim this up. And that gives me that reveal there. That looks pretty good. And while I'm at it, while I'm doing these edges of the reglets here, let's draw the top here. So again, the reglet comes over 1 inch, and then it comes back 1 inch that way, and then comes back that way. And I will trim that over there. And actually, there would be a little line that comes straight down like that. So this is the side of that of this panel here, and that's the back of the reveal. All righty, then I've got a 1 foot high, wider piece over here. So if I just again just copy this straight up. Oop, I can't copy it straight up. It's only going left and right because my isoplane is wrong. So let me change my isoplane to isoplane right. Now I can, now I can copy this up a foot or 12 inches. And it comes over, how much does it come over? I don't seem to have the length of that. Well, let's guesstimate. Let me see here. From here to 8 feet. Yeah, let's just say 8 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'll just copy this over 8 feet. All right, so I'll do some filleting here. And I need to go back to isoplane top here. Draw that little 1 inch segment there. Do some trimming here. Oh, well, actually, this reveal will come back an inch and come back an inch like this. And then this will get trimmed. So that I think, oh, this looks good except for this is set back, and what I'm doing is I'm showing it flush with the front here. So I'm gonna just draw this line up 12 inches. Oops, a little bit high. So let me just trim that. There, now that looks like that's set back. All right, cute. All right, so let's draw the reception desk. So let me look at my handout here so I get my dimensions correct. So the reception desk starts 3 feet from this corner here. And I'm going to start by drawing the side. I'm going to draw it rectangular first, and then we'll put the curve in. It's going to be much easier that way. So I'm going to start with the left side of it. So let me go to isoplane left. And I'll start, I'm going to O-track over 3 feet or 36 inches. And then I will start the left side. So it comes out 5 feet. And I'm just looking at the handout here. And then it goes up 3.5 feet, 3'6", 3'6", and then comes back 5 feet. And then I'll close it off. So that's the left side. And again, it will be curved, but right now we're going to draw it rectangular. It's easier to draw it rectangular first, and then we'll clean it up later. All right, so now I want to draw the front side of it. So let me switch my isoplane to isoplane right. Go to my line tool, and it is 12.5 feet. Go up. I'll draw a transaction top height, and then we'll cut it down. So I'll go 3'6", and then come back. So there's the front, and okay. So then our lower part here is 3 feet from this corner. So I'm just going to O-track over 3 feet, 36 inches, and then I'm going to go straight up. How much? 3'6". Okay, so that is going to mark the corner of the top of my transaction top. Let me just fillet that. And now I need the work surface height, which is 2'6". So I'll come up and O-track up 2'6", and then go across 3 feet. Like that. So there is the lower part, and there is the higher part. This is the left side of our transaction top. Okay, so now let's draw the top, the work surface, and the top of the transaction top. So we want to be in isoplane top since we're drawing the top of it. So let me just use my F5 to get over to isoplane top. And I'll start back here, and it comes over 36 inches or 3 feet, and then comes over some distance. I'm just going to draw that. I'm not sure where that's going to end up, but I'll just draw that. And then let's draw the transaction top. So the transaction top is 12 inches deep. So let me just start here, go over 12, and then come over some distance. I'll do some filleting here. And let's just do it on this side too. 12 inches, and come over, and now let's fillet. So there is our transaction top. I can trim this right here. So that's in front of that. All right, there's our transaction top. And now I have, I got to draw this side of the work surface. So it's 2'6" high on this side. So it's going to be 2'6". So I'm just going to go, well, I need to go up, and I'm an isoplane top. So I need to change my isoplane again. I'm going to O-track up 2'6". And then I'm just gonna, so now I need to go back in this direction. So now I need to go back to isoplane top. I told you it was confusing. 36 inches. And then I'm going to go over that much. And then I will fill it. And then I'll just trim out this stuff I don't need to see. So there is X'd out or blocked out is my reception desk. All right. So there is a top on the reception desk, and it'll be some sort of a stone or corian or some solid surface or some surface, and it is an inch thick. So let me change my isoplane here, and I'm gonna use my copy trick again, and I'm gonna copy straight down 1 inch. Just to get the thickness of the top of my transaction top. And the same is going to hold true for the thickness of my work surface. So I'll copy this line down 1 inch. Good. And then there's a leg or a side. It could be like a waterfall edge or some edge, that's going to support the end of this. And that is also 1 inch thick. So let me copy that over 1 inch. And I'll just trim this so this looks a little bit neater here. So now this surface, this work surface here, is sitting on top of this leg. And then the leg, because this is open down here, we are going to draw this face, the inside face of the side or leg, I'm calling it, but the side of the. So I need to be in isoplane left, right? Because I'm drawing this side of it. So let me just draw a line here. And I can't, again, snapping is not going to work. So I'm just going to kind of draw it a little bit of the away, and then I'm just going to use trim, hold my shift to extend, and then I'll just extend it across there. And then I can just trim this up right here. So now this is, this is the little leg room here for someone to pull up a chair or a wheelchair and be able to sit at the desk. All right. So let's talk about this curved edge here. So, when we want to radius corners in AutoCAD, a lot of times we use the fillet tool, and we can, draw a fillet and get nice smooth corners. Can't do that when we're using isometric drawing, when we're doing isometric drawing. We just can't do that. So what we have to do, and we can't draw circles either. Let me change back to my isoplane top here. If I'm drawing a circle, it's drawing it, it's using the UCS here, and it's drawing it in pure circular view, and it's not obeying the perspective view or the isometric view that we want to draw this in. So what we need, I'm going to erase that. So what we need to do is we need to draw an ellipse. And the ellipse has to be, so if I'm drawing, I'm going to draw two ellipses, one for the outside and one for the inside here. And the when we're drawing an ellipse, I just go over to the ellipse tool here. I'm just going to draw an ellipse out here. When I'm drawing an ellipse, I need to draw. I start at the center of the ellipse, and then I draw of one length, and then I can, adjust the width of it. So, but the point is, I need to have the center of the ellipse. So here, where is the center of the ellipse? Well, it is at the height of this transaction top. And it is, let me switch back to here. And it is, the center is going to be right here, right at the corner of the work surface here, but it's at the height of the transaction top. You remember that this work surface here is lower than the transaction top surface. So what I need to do is I need to draw a little line that is the same height as the transaction top. So how high is that? So if I use my measure tool here, and I go from here to here, it's 1 foot. It's a foot high. So what I need to do, let me change my isoplane here so I can draw a vertical line. I need to draw a guideline, a vertical guideline, 1 foot high. And that guideline, the top of that guideline right there, that point is going to mark the center of my ellipse that I draw over here. All right. I know this is making no sense to you, but you'll see as I'm constructing this, it will. All right. So now the ellipse is going to be for the transaction top here. So I need to change back to isoplane top. And I can use my F key, but just to remind you, you can do it down here. Just click isoplane top, and I'm in isoplane top here. All right, so now ellipses. There are a couple different kinds of ellipses. There's center, axis end, and elliptical arc. And the one that I like to use here is axis end. So I'm going to click on axis end. And when I look down here, it's saying specify the axis endpoint, which is this point here, and some options here, arc, center, and iso circle. And I want to pick iso circle here. I want to tell it that I'm drawing a circle, but it is going to be in isometric. So I'll click iso circle. Now it's asking for the center of the iso circle, which is this point right here. And then I'm going to come straight across and hopefully hit. It's not going where I wanted to. Okay, so it's not. So I need to specify a distance. So I know that if you look at the handout, it's 3 feet, right? That this total distance was 3 feet. So I'm going to type in 3 feet. Okay, so now this ellipse here, or isocircle, it's drawn as an ellipse, but in isometric, it is a circle with a radius of 3 feet. So now I'm going to do some trimming and clean this up. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. Oop, I did too much. Okay, So let's do it again. I'll come over in this direction now, 3 feet. Oh, okay, so that didn't work. The reason that didn't work is because I didn't choose ISO circle. So let me go to axis endpoint, choose ISO circle, this point, 36 inches. All right, now hopefully I can trim here. Trim that, and you know what, I'll just erase this. So there is the graceful edge of the curve of our transaction top. So let me get this one. So this one was 3 feet from here to here. So now we know that the width of our transaction top is a foot. So 3 feet minus 1 foot is 2 feet. So let's draw another one. ISO ellipse, axis end. Choose ISO circle. Click that center point. Drag over how much? 2 feet or 24 inches. Now let's trim again. Here and here. And then I'll erase the rest of this. And there is our lovely gentle curve. Let me do some more trimming here. And trim that and that. And I need to get this thickness of the, I've got the 1 inch thickness here. So let's copy this down 1 inch. So I'm going to copy. I want to copy down, but I can't copy down because I am in ISO plane top. So let me switch to another one where I can go down, and I'll just copy down 1 inch. And now I can do some trimming. I no longer need this, and I no longer need that. But now I got to draw it down here, right? Or do I? I can just copy this. So I'll just take this arc, and I'll just go from that endpoint straight down, do some trimming, and voila, we have our curved surface. Now, if you didn't get that, don't worry, because I'm going to go through this exercise again when I do the back side of this workstation or this reception desk. Okay, so now I have a reveal here, and I'm on my isoplane right, which is exactly what I want because my reveal is going to be over here. And it is just going right from the end point of that arc, and it's going straight up. And then I will offset, or not offset, I love to do that. So I'll just copy over 1 inch. And then I need to get this thing, and from that, I do need to be back on isoplane top. Just to get the edge of this reveal, 1 inch. Oh, and by the way, there's another way you can do. So there's another cheating way you can do this if you're in this isoplane right or left, and you need to do this, and you've already got one like here, copy it. And this is another trick that I do frequently. I'll just take that one, that little piece of line, and I'll just copy it over there. If you don't want to. A 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and you got to do what's easier for you, or whatever works for you. All right, actually, that doesn't look too bad. This is the way it's reading on the handout, and that would be totally fine. But I personally, if I were doing this in my office, I would make a small change, and that is this area here, this legroom here, it goes straight through. right? And if someone is working here and someone is working here, or they put their briefcase or their purse or something underneath here, if you're standing in the lobby, like here, you remember this is all glass. You can look through here and you'll be able to see that. And by the way, this is drawn wrong, isn't it? Because this work surface comes across. Well, we'll fix that later on. But if you're standing out here or in here, you can sort of see a person's legs. And I just always try to avoid that when I'm so what I would do is I would draw a little modesty panel right here. So let's just do that. So if you remember, the total width of this was 3 feet, right? So if I draw a modesty panel right in the middle here, that would be 2.5 feet, right? 2 foot 6 inches over. So I'm gonna let's see how I'm gonna do that. I guess I gotta change my isoplane to this side so I can draw that. So I'll draw a line here that starts 2.5 feet. Wait, not 2.5, 1.5 feet. Let me draw that again. And then it's going to go this way, but I can't do that. So I need to change my isoplane again. Now I can go this way. Let me just trim that, and then I got to go back to isoplane. So now there's leg room for a person on this side. There's a modesty panel here so that if someone out here is looking at the reception desk, they don't see clear through to, a chair or a person sitting there, or, see their sneakers or whatever is going on there. I personally think that this is a cleaner design. You can put that, you can do it or not. I'll leave it to you. All righty, I'm going to save. And let's do the back. Or should I just give you the back to do on your own? Now I'll do it. I'll do the next. All righty. So the back side, I'm going to start with I'm just going to draw the back over here, and I'm going to start with the left side, and then I will draw the right and come around. So I'm going to start with isoplane left here, and I'm just going to draw that back side there. So it is 3 feet, and then it goes up 30 inches or 2 foot 6, right? And it comes back 3 feet. So that is that side of it right there. All right, so now let me look at my handout here. See if I can figure out the rest of these dimensions. Looks like they are cleverly lax. Okay, that's okay. So let's just see here. So it is, oh boy, I'm flipping back and forth here, 12.5 feet. So let me draw the top of this. So I'll go to isoplane top, and again I'm going to start with a rectangle, and then I will do the curved surfaces. So I'll start back here, and it is 12.5 feet. And then it comes back this way 5 feet. And it comes back this way 3 feet. And comes up some distance. And then it goes over some distance, and then I'll just fill it. All right. And then if I want to get this side here, I need to be in isoplane right. Comes down Let me put my ortho on. Somebody turned it off. Comes down 2'6". Comes over 3 feet. So there's that side. And then, so this is the back side here, and the front is over here. So then we've got that transaction top that is sitting on top of this thing. Okie doke. So let me, looking at the wrong sheet of my handout, and it extends up a foot. So let's just draw the side of the transaction top on the right side here, since we're here. Let me just go up a foot, and then comes back a foot, and then comes down a foot. And I'll just trim that just to, well, no, I'll leave that. All right, that looks good, I think. Let me go to isoplane. Let's do this side here. And this starts 3 feet over. And then goes up. Okay, so now I need to be in isoplane left. Goes up a foot, back a foot, down a foot, and then back to the start there. Let's trim that. And in fact, let me just trim those two. All right, so now let me draw the top of the transaction top. So let me go back to isoplane top, because I'm drawing the top of it. And I'm just gonna draw some lines here. I'm not gonna do any measuring, I'm gonna do filleting, because I'm lazy and I want to do the lazy man's way here. Okay, so there is, in essence, our transaction top, the side of the transaction top, and then this is our work surface here, and then the waterfall edge comes down here, or just some leg or end of it here and over here. Yeah. While I'm at it, let's just put some thickness to these work surfaces. So I'll just grab these, and I need to change my isoplane, and I'll just copy straight down 1 inch. So that gives me the thickness of the top of the work surface there. And you know what? While I'm at it, why don't I do the same thing here? So let's copy this, 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 and this straight down 1 inch. So there is the top of the thickness of my transaction top. Okay, so there's a little, something has to support this transaction top, right? And I've got the ends here, we just have a little 1 inch, end piece here and here. But actually, the front of this is going to be thicker than 1 inch. Why? Because on the back side of this, we want to be able to put plugs so that you can plug in a monitor or a computer or a phone or whatever you'd like to do. So that is going to be 5 inches. So let me go back to my isoplane top again. And I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to O-track over in this direction 5 inches. And then I'm going to just draw the beginning of that wall there. And now let me go over on this side and do the same thing. So I'm going to start in this corner. I'm going to O-track over 5 inches and then come up this way. And then I will fill it. And I'll do some trimming to just clean this up. And there is the back wall of our transaction top here. So, so we can plug something in, or you can pin something up on it, a note or whatever you'd like. So that is in there like that. And you know what? Let's give this wall here, this little end piece of some thickness. So let's copy that. an inch. And copy this an inch. So depending on what the material is, like if you were going to do a waterfall edge, so, this surface was the same as that, then what I would do is I'd fill it or trim this like that, right? And this would actually go away. But since we're showing a top here, I'm just going to trim this piece here. So the top of this transaction top is sitting on this leg. That I'll just trim that out. And I need a little line right here, don't I? So there, that looks like this end piece is sitting on this work surface, and then the transaction top is sitting on this end piece. We'll do the same thing over here. Just draw a little line right there. And that looks pretty good. All right. So now we got to do that rounding corner business again. All right. So I'm going to again use the ellipse, and the ellipse is going to be at the height of the transaction top, and the center of it is going to be here, right here, but higher up, so that it's at the same height as the transaction top, which is a foot higher than this point here. So I need to draw a line straight up. Well, I can't draw it straight up because my isoplane is wrong. So let's change my isoplane. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. And now go up 12 inches. So the center of my ellipse will be right at the very top of this guideline right here. And this is 3 feet. So we're going to draw an ellipse. Click on isocircle. Oh, I'm doing this wrong because look at my isoplane. My isoplane is on this left side, and I want to draw up on the top for the transaction top. So I need to change my isoplane to isotop. All right, there I am. Now I can choose the center point of the ellipse, and I'm coming out 3 feet or 36 inches. And there it is. So let me trim just to clean things up a little bit. I'll just get rid of this piece of the ellipse. That looks good. So now I need to do the back, this part of the ellipse. So this one was 3 feet, 36 inches. This one is 36 inches minus the thickness of the transaction top. So that is 24 inches, 2 feet. Do my axis endpoint. This time I'll do 24 inches. Oh, so why didn't that work? Because I do this all the time. I didn't choose isocircle. So let me choose isocircle. Now let me go 24 inches. 24 or 2 feet. And now let me do some trimming. And I need to get the thickness of this transaction top at this point. So I'll just copy this down 1 inch. And let me do some trimming. And there we go. So now I have to do one more for this. So what is this distance? I don't remember. So let me just use measure tool here. It is let me do it with the line. I just don't remember. $2'7". All right. All right, so now I'm going to draw this ellipse, but this ellipse isn't going to go to the top here, right? Because it's on this plane. It's on the plane of my work surface. So I don't need this guideline anymore. So I'm going to draw my ellipse, isocircle. So that'll be the center. And then what did I say? 2'7". 2'7". Let me do some trimming. Erase that. Trim this. And there we go. Gorgeous. And easy too, right? Not. All right. So that's the hard part done. Let's finish up with the PEDs that need to go over here. So those PEDs are well, first there's there's an end panel over here. And so let me go over to isoplane left here. And you know what? Let me start with copying this one inch over. Oh, let me do isoplane right, so I can go over 1 inch. Trim that. And just draw this little bottom of the leg here, or this end piece. Okay, so from that end piece, we're going to go over 3 feet, and then to get this end over here. So I'm going to O-track over 36 inches or 3 feet, and then just go over this way. So that'll, if I go to trim and hold my shift key, that'll extend it all the way over. All right, so now I can go from this, and I want to go straight up. I got to change my isoplane because I can't go straight with isoplane top. So there we go. And I'll go up 30 inches, right? Nope, sorry. I'll go up, yeah, 30 inches, right? Okay, I just need to extend that up a little bit, I guess. So let me extend that up. All right. I think I did something goofy here. Let me redraw that. Oh, you know what? I didn't have, well, I don't know. Let me turn my O tracking is on. Oh, I did something a little wacky there. So 3 feet. And now if I go up 30 inches, there it is. I knew there was something goofy there. And then I'll just trim this. And then this panel is 1 inch thick, so I'll just copy 1 inch. Alrighty. So there is the side. So I've got that end panel here. And you know what? I'm going to draw the modesty panel too. So let's go to isoplane left here. And so half of 3 feet is 1'6". And then I'm going to change to the other isoplane and then come that way. And I'll just use trim and extend. I'm holding shift to extend. So there I've got that modesty and that end panel there. Good. So now I've got a PED here, pedestal. And pedestals are 15 inches wide, always. So let's copy this just over 15 inches. And then let's copy this another inch, because we have a panel that's in between our pedestals here. Now let me draw some lines here. So this is the base of our pedestal, and the top of our pedestal is here. So now, normally, a pedestal or a ped, as they're often called, is a little bit shorter than the work surface here, because obviously it needs to slip underneath. And it's usually about 1.5 inches shorter than the top of the work surface. So the top of our work surface is 2'6". So if we subtract 1.5 inches, that would be 2'5", 2'4.5". But all I need to do is I need to come down 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to draw a line 1'3" in this direction. So I'm going to come down here and straight down, O-track down 1/2 inch, and then 1'3". So that's going to actually mark the very top of our pedestal. And there actually is a little gap here between the bottom of the work surface and the top of the ped. All right. So now, let me again look at my notes here just to make sure I've got everything here that I want to tell you all. All right, yeah. So, okay, so let me go back to this. So when you're calling out, when you're specifying PEDs or pedestals, there's usually 3 kinds really. And they're file, box, file, and file, box, pencil. So this right here, this is a file cabinet, a drawer. So when you open this up, you can put, files in, like manila file folders. And that generally is a foot high. It varies, but in general, the way I'm going to draw it is a foot high. And then these are 2 drawers here, and these are half the height of the file drawer. So these would be 6 inches each, and these are called box drawers. So when you're specifying a box, you'll often when you're specifying a ped, you'll call them out as a box file, or a file drawer pedestal, or sometimes they're called BBFs, box file. So just some nomenclature. So when I am talking about a box file pedestal, that's what this is: 2 box drawers and a file drawer. So I'm going to make the file drawer a foot high, and I'm going to make the box drawers each 6 inches. Okay, so let me take this off my screen, and I will start. I'm in my my ISO right here, and I'm going to copy. I could draw, but I'm going to copy. So I'm going to come down. I said those boxes are 6 inches, so I'm going to come down straight down 6 inches, and then another one. So I'll come down 12 inches there. And so there are my 2 box files, and then this will be my regular file, which will be 12 inches. So I'll offset that 12 inches. Oop, I'm offsetting, copying 12 inches. So there is my box file. And, then you need to draw some kind of a handle, right? So there could be just a regular handle right here for each one of these. Or sometimes you'll see a little recessed rectangular handle in these. But what we're going to do is we're just going to do a finger pull on these. So I'm going to copy each of these down 1/2 inch. Oop. So this is the finger pull for this box. This is the finger pull for this box, and this is the finger pull for this file. So now we just need to do the same thing over here, right? Well, yes, you could if you wanted to. If you wanted to redraw that, you're perfectly welcome to, but I prefer to copy. So I'm going to just take all of those and I'm just going to copy them over so that I've got two of them. So if I were to erase those. So this PED here is a BBF box file, and this PED would be a file or an FF file. So I'll just leave that just for giggles so you see. All right, so last minute cleanups. I see I need an thickness of this panel right here. So let me change my my ISO plane here and copy this over an inch. And I'll just clean that up with a little piece of a line and trim that there. And I think I'm in good shape. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not, because yeah, I am, because this is actually coming across there so you wouldn't see it. Okay, so that is it. So we've got an isometric of the front of our workstation or reception desk, and we got an isometric of the back side of our reception desk.